So now I'm
right.
gonna let other people take the reins finally. Get these reins away from me. Cause we wrapped up 2025, but now we're in 2026. So
Yep.
what do we do then? Well, I guess Death Battle just really wanted to ride the high of doing some anime stuff.
Yeah.
Like, sure, let's go from 2 big childhood anime to 2 big anime.
Yeah, I was gonna say shonen.
Yeah, I guess
say it,
shonen. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
because next time on Death Battle, we got a match that I think a lot of people maybe not forgot about, but kind of like brushed to the side after a while. But it's back, it's here, and I think most people are excited for it. I know at least a couple people in this particular call are.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. It is. So, all right. Next time on Death Battle, the 2026 premiere is Ichigo Kurosaki from Bleach versus Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah.
Fucking go.
The substitute Spirit Reaper takes on the Spirit
Detective.
Yep. Yeah, feels like we haven't heard. Feels like you haven't heard this one in a while, but yeah.
So, fun fact: this was supposed to be an episode Ichigo was supposed to be a part of a long time ago, but they decided to just have him fight the blonde over there, who definitely would still win.
To be fair, the rivalry for old school shonen was there, and Naruto vs. Ichigo was still really good.
Yes, I mean, it's good, but it definitely hasn't aged all that well.
I mean, it's not the best of season 4 because Balrog vs. TJ combo exists.
You're goddamn right. No, you're wrong. Shredder versus Silver Samurai exists, and I won't hear otherwise.
You're saying that's better than Balrog vs. TJ. Excuse you.
They're both good, damn it. Also, we have Megazord versus Volt. The point is that it is not the best of season 4. You are correct, sir. But I think Sean, out of all of us, can say Ichigo definitely has been overdue for a run back, hasn't he?
Just a little bit.
Big time. The last time we saw Ichigo was, funny enough, we joked about it. The second longest episode of Death Battle at the time, Naruto versus Ichigo.
He's correct.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna interject here for a second. Dead ass, no pun intended. I'm very surprised. Yeah, I'm very surprised we're getting an Ichigo run back before a Naruto run back. I'm not gonna lie. I'm cool. Like, I'm cool with it. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, I'm cool with it. Don't get me wrong.
ZDogg, listen. It's better for the entire.
Watch ZDogg just dead ass is gonna accidentally summon Naruto versus Luffy into existence in this fucking upcoming year. Just watch.
Oh god.
Here's how I'll put it real quick. I don't think people want to talk about it from Boruto.
No, nobody. What is Boruto, good sir? That sounds like a made-up word. What even is that?
Okay, fair enough, but still. Oh my god.
Oh god, I will never forgive Boruto. Anyway,
Anyway, no, I mean, like I said, I'm cool with it. Like I'm cool with, like, I'm granted, I do think as an outsider I would have preferred another new Bleach rep before Ichigo came back, but hey, I'm cool with him coming back.
If we're gonna get honestly, if we're gonna get Bleach revisions, I'm glad we're doing it with the main character.
Yeah.
I agree, especially because, okay, look, would I have liked it if it was, say, I don't know, Rukia, or, Chad, or...
Kenpachi.
Yes, or fucking Kenpachi, that also would have been good. No, yes, but, I mean, look, given what is particularly happening around Ichigo this year, I can't say that I'm not surprised that they started off with the big guns, or I guess in this case, big sword.
I was gonna say Gun's the other guy.
Well, yeah. That's what I was.
Gun is the other guy.
I was gonna say, like, well, there is a gun here.
There is a gun, yes. Funny how I get the guy with the gun and Sean gets the guy with the sword.
Yeah.
We're not hinting at anything.
Nah.
Nope. No, we're not. Anyway. So yeah.
I've always felt like Ichigo deserved a run back, especially because of 1,000-Year Blood War.
He did. Yes. And
yeah, it took ages for that to finally get adapted, didn't it?
what's almost a decade?
Look, to be fair, the manga had to be worked on, and they didn't have.
That's about how long it took Devil May Cry to come back. All right, I don't want to hear any complaining.
That's fair.
I mean, it also took over a decade for us to get two Yu Yu Hakusho OVAs that reunited all of the Funimation cast. Which, yeah, by the way, funny how Dragon Ball just gets a fucking new series over and over and over again, new video games over and over and over again. But fucking Yu Yu Hakusho fans, yeah, we're lucky if we get even a water drop.
You had 3 characters in Jump Force at least. You had that going for you, I guess.
Oh, please do not use Jump Force as a good substitute.
I was a Jump Force content creator. I apologize.
I know. I remember. That's fair. Okay.
On a side note, on that note, the new Dragon Ball series, hell yeah.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about, god damn it. Also, again, as I pointed out to these guys off camera, funny, Yu Yu Hakusho was actually created by the man who would later go on to give us Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
he moved on to better things, and I'll leave that up to you to determine whether or not I'm joking.
Yeah, okay. No.
One of the cool stories about Bleach, I think you guys might have heard about it. The mangaka creator of it wasn't originally going to be a thing until Akira Toriyama himself actually kind of interfered and helped him get Bleach off the ground.
Yeah. That is nice. So I will say, just real quick, I think it is kind of superfluous for us to talk about our history with these two, because there's only 2 people here who can actually do that, unless my co-hosts have anything to say about one of them.
I do have an interesting question.
Sorry, go ahead.
Lads went back to watch it. Did you guys go back to watch Naruto versus Ichigo when this episode got announced?
Not when it was announced, but our reaction video came out for it like yesterday. I watched that.
I think I know who you're talking about.
I think that was Alara's, right?
Yeah,
it was Alara's.
Yeah, it was Alara. Yeah. So I watched that. I rewatched the episode. I did rewatch the fight itself on its own, like a few days prior to that. But that was just kind of whatever. So technically, yes.
So okay, have either of you guys watched? Okay, I'm gonna spoil it. I did not get the chance to rewatch Bleach. I'm sorry in advance, Sean, because every time I'm sorry. I had other commitments, and also too, if I'm being honest, Sean.
I know. You have a wife.
Well, yes, that was one of them. But there was another one. Hint, hint. But I've never been able to get that far into Bleach. I'm sorry.
I have something I could say, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll do it off camera. Maybe. I'll do it off camera. Maybe. I probably shouldn't though.
Okay.
Anyway, I didn't rewatch Bleach for this, but man, I do really want to give Bleach like a full-fledged binge watch one of these days. I keep trying for it, and then my ADHD just decides, nope, you're not doing that anymore, and I just go off to do something else, and then I forget about pretty much everything I watched in Bleach. And it's great. I love it so much. It's my favorite aspect of this entire show.
You just go from watching Bleach to going back to playing Sonic Crossroad Racing or something.
Yeah, I guess. But then I forget about it. Like I'm like, oh yeah, like I'll take like a day break. You know, like I've watched it. Like I would get probably like 10-ish episodes in. And then I'll be like, okay, I'll take a little break. Nothing too major, but I've been watching it for a little bit now. I'll take a little break. A little break ends up being a few years. That's
a very long little break.
And then I forget about what I watched entirely.
Yeah.
Because I remember, I think I tried watching it before Ichigo's last episode. I didn't get like crazy far. I think I got like 30-ish episodes in, and then again, like I just stopped. And I'm like, well, shit, I don't remember what I saw or where I stopped. So I think a couple of years ago, I was like, okay, let's try it again. Let's start from the beginning and see how far we can get. I think I got even less far. I think I got like 10 episodes in instead. And I was like, okay. Like it's nothing even against Bleach. God, I hate my ADHD sometimes.
I think the one thing I feel like you will definitely remember is his English VA for a good reason.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm of course into his English VA.
Yeah, no, okay. Would it be safe to assume that Ichigo Kurosaki is a certain what's the word? High and favorite performance of a certain Mr. Bosch?
Mm-hmm. You can definitely say it.
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay, almost like it's almost like it's the best performance in that put him on the VO map in anime dubbing.
Yeah.
I want to remind everyone that Johnny Bosch used to be a Power Ranger.
A Power Ranger turned into one of the best protagonists from the Big Three, as they were dubbed.
And I also want to remind people that this is the same Johnny Bosch who is, I shit you not, making movies that are winning awards at film festivals and even being sponsored by Warner Brothers. So take that
and who totally, absolutely, positively did not voice Ichigo last time he was in Death Battle. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. No, no, that was Mr.
Adam Park.
Adam Park. Yes, thank you. I almost said Ray Park. I don't know why.
Ray Parker.
Yes, Darth Maul voiced Ichigo in over a decade ago. Yes, yes, that was Adam Park, who does a very good Johnny Bosch impression, which guess we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm the same with Bro. I've tried, but my ADHD just won't let me. But to be fair, I did watch the first 3 arcs, and I did like it. It's just, to me, I kind of have a problem, and I don't. And this is my main problem with Ichigo as a character. I kind of preferred him as he was when he was in the Substitution Reaper arc. He was just, how do I put this? He just had one power set, and he had to adapt and struggle. And then when he found his own power set, he was kind of a badass, and then the dude just turned into a fucking shonen Swiss Army knife.
Again, that was kind of a big draw for the big three.
Yeah, he has like every single heritage ever.
Yeah, dude, it's just it's not even a joke. Like, holy crap, how many people is this guy related to? For all we know, he could be related to Naruto, Luffy, and fucking Goku.
Ichigo's next power after 1,000-Year Blood War, if there ever is one, he summons a giant beast that's similar to a Jinchuriki.
Yes. Or hell, who's to say that Ichigo won't just summon a fucking JoJo stand?
Who knows?
No, his sword will just stretch out like Luffy next.
There you go.
I will say...
Who's to say he's... Oh, go ahead.
I will say, of the big three, both as far as the shows and the main characters go, Bleach is the one that interests me the most.
Yeah, I can agree to that. I mean, I guess my ranking for the big three in terms of how they are as protagonists goes Ichigo, Luffy, Naruto.
I think what's even crazier is the big three. There's supposed to be a plan for all three of them to air at the same time this year.
That is correct. Yes, we are getting the wrap up of the 1,000-Year Blood War arc. We are also getting I kid you not, we are getting 6 Naruto specials that are going to go back when Naruto was a kid. And we are also getting the wrap-up conclusion of One Piece, and we're getting started on the next arc. Yes, next arc, as in part 2.
Damn it.
And we're also, coincidentally, getting the next season of the live-action Netflix One Piece series.
Can you imagine, though, like, someone in the comments has no idea what we're talking about when we say big three? That just shows how old we are.
Yeah, yes, because...
Is it really how old we are, or is that just how ignorant they are?
Let's say how ignorant, because how can you watch these 3 animes and not know that they are called the Big Three? Because, okay, fine. Here, quick history lesson. Goku, you know how Goku and Sailor Moon were the dad and mom of anime in the 90s? In the 80s and 90s? Okay, well... Ichigo, Naruto, and Luffy are essentially the big 3 children of anime for the early 2000s.
Which I think is a good segue to talk about the uncle of the big 3,
Yeah,
Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yes, that's correct!
I was literally about to make that same comparison. It's like, and then there's Yusuke, who's basically like their cool uncle.
Yes.
He's the cool uncle that teaches them how to beat the shit out of people as a teenager.
Yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho. Okay, so funny enough, Yu Yu Hakusho came out during the I believe it was the end of the Cell Saga and the beginning of the Buu Saga of Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon, and yeah, he was just right there in the background chilling. Yeah, and Yu Yu Hakusho is basically this shonen anime that, for all intents and purposes, and I kid you not, it's like the easiest shonen anime to watch, get into, understand, and you may even come out saying, huh, this is actually not as crazy as something like, say, Dragon Ball Z, because Dragon Ball Z, for example, is over 230 episodes long, and that's with the Toei stuff in it. And Yu Yu Hakusho, Cool and Breeze, 112 episodes. It was definitely one. Hell, this show actually perfected the tournament arc. It actually had it had not 1 but 2 tournament arcs, and the second season is literally nothing but 41 episodes dedicated to said tournament arc. And it actually was pretty damn enjoyable and good. The last tournament arc was a bit rushed and just kind of breezed on through, which even the creator said he kind of regrets how he didn't give the last arc with the Demon Tournament a lot of breathing room like he did with the previous one.
Yeah, but talking about the cool uncle, it's like asking that cool uncle, hey, Uncle Yusuke, have you ever lost in a fight? Let me think. I don't think so. I like beating the shit out of people because I like fighting.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, he's definitely that uncle that would be the hype guy. You know, he would be all energetic, excited, and he would just not be afraid to say what everyone else doesn't want to say.
Although he's got two iconic designs for him, whether it's the classic green coat or like the yellow like sleeveless shirt.
Yeah, the sleeveless shirt design is actually my favorite. It's very much inspired by Bruce Lee, I would want to say, with his second design. Funny enough, Yusuke actually did train for a whole year with the demon monks in the ways of, you know, demon martial arts, while dressed up in a Bruce Lee inspired outfit. So, you know, there's that. Yeah,
he has one of the coolest signature attacks in the 90s.
Yeah, no, okay, you thought the Kamehameha was fucking iconic? Bitch, move the frig over. Here's the Spirit Gun, which literally, as the series progressed, oh yeah, it can just do things that the Kamehameha can do, including blow up the planet.
Or in the Japanese version of it, they just call it ray gun, which I also quite like.
Yeah, ray gun is also pretty cool. It's or my other favorite attack in Yu Yu Hakusho is actually the Spirit Sword. Because, oh, you know, every time Yusuke's best friend and bro, Kuwabara, summons the Z Sword, not only does he say Spirit Sword, I said Z Sword, Spirit Sword, but he also, when he uses it, no joke, the animators use actual lightsaber sound effects from the original Star Wars trilogy. Because this anime came out before the prequels, so they didn't have those new lightsaber sound effects.
And with some of the funniest dub you will ever hear.
Okay, I will make this bold statement. The dub for this series, if you watch it out of context, yes, it's funny and quite cheesy, but if you really watch it, especially when it gets into the emotional stuff, no joke, this is probably the best shonen dub of its time, and it kind of inspired other future shonen dubs to be on its level, like the big three themselves.
Dude, one of my favorite out of context lines that I've talked to people about was Yusuke saying, and I quote, "Is it just me, or do you have a nice ass?"
Yes, that was in reference. That was literally him talking about his girlfriend.
He's literally poking her ass too. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
he's basically
that
anime mate.
Yeah. He's well, no. If yes, he's literally anime your only mate. Except if your only mate had the personality of Kira Armstrong. There's a fusion that I'm gonna take away from us now before it gets stuck in our brains. But yes, that was in reference to his girlfriend when they saw each other again when they were quote unquote older, which was literally about 15. Yeah, this show it's a hidden gem, and it is very underrated. And even Justin Cook answered the question because people asked him, what do you think is the appeal of the fights? And he just straight up said, well, I think it's because our fights actually don't linger and drag on for 8 episodes, and then the editor plays a clip from Dragon Ball Z, and he never said Dragon Ball Z. Also, the characters are literally rich, and they're not just one-note characters. Like, Yusuke is not just a guy who loves fighting. He's very much more layered than that.
Especially with how his series starts.
Yeah. Literally, no context. Dude dies after saving a kid who, by the way, it was the kid's fault because the kid told him, the kid was playing with his soccer ball out near traffic, kicked it. Yusuke rescued the ball and him, told him not to do that. The kid was feeling bad. Yusuke put the soccer ball inside of him and danced like what I could only describe is a funny Asian jack hopping Snorlax.
It makes me feel bad though because they titled his preview "He's only truck level."
Yes, he's only truck level. Yes, because then he gets hit with the truck and he dies, and then it's revealed.
Well,
oh yeah.
over.
Yeah, no. Oh, well, no. It even gets better. The Grim Reaper and her boss just say, "We actually don't have any room for you in heaven or hell." And then Yusuke's like, "What the fuck?" And yeah, then of course they literally. I kid you not. I don't know what I'm pretty sure that the creator was a big fan of A Christmas Carol because we literally do a Christmas Carol of Yu Yu Hakusho where Yusuke sees all of his friends mourning him and being surprised, even his drunk mother, who only sees him as somebody who exists in her mind and tells him to go get her more alcohol. Even she fucking cries for him. And so does his best bro and his girlfriend. And then he just decides, okay, I changed my mind. I want to be. I'll take the position because I don't want it to end like this. And then shonen anime adventures ensue.
Yep.
Of course they do.
Yeah, why not?
It's 90s shonen.
Yeah.
Okay. I will die on this fucking hill, but Yu Yu Hakusho is better written than Dragon Ball Z ever could be. God rest Akira Toriyama, but the man openly admitted he doesn't write dramatic stories. He writes comedy and action, and he was proud of it. So, yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho is definitely one of my favorite, if not my favorite, 90s shonen anime. That and Rinori Kenshin, but the less said about that show, the better, especially with its creator.
Anyway.
Oh, God, we're never getting Rinori Kenshin on this show.
We're going to be diving into one of the big three as well as their uncles today.
Yes, yeah, it's literally nephew versus uncle. How fun is this?
And this was a match that Ben really wanted to happen.
Yeah, no, and this would be a great matchup. You know, I said would if there wasn't a big gaping shonen elephant in the room.
Oh, come on, Goku's not that fat.
Damn. Got him. Gonna need a sensu bean for that one, Goku.
Okay, now why are you fat
He'll
shaming?
definitely need one.
Why are you fat shaming?
Yes.
Whoa! Fat shaming!
Goku just blasts a Kamehameha at Sean, and the Kamehameha just says, "No fat shaming."
Okay.
Oh, is that what that blue light is coming to my house? Uh-oh.
God.
Okay, I love that he did that for
Jesus Christ.
either you did that for effect or your internet is getting crazier still.
No, I did that for an effect.
Oh, okay, good, thank God. Either way, Goku killed Sean. Yeah, so I'm excited to talk about this fight.
Oh boy. Especially since they teased it with a freaking animation preview.
Yeah, let's talk about that. The animation preview.
Hey, we got sprites!
So, yes, hallelujah, it's sprites!
Yeah. Yeah. Hasn't nearly been a year since we saw the last one. Not at all.
What was the date Ghost Rider Spawn came out? Like March?
I don't want to know.
February.
Oh,
February what?
We don't worry about it.
We don't do numbers.
We don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
Look.
Just
Look,
okay.
It's
it
been
came out a year ago.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's literally been a year. And yeah, so if I was a betting man, just based off this animation preview, I'm gonna take a wild guess that that's Zach working on the animation.
It has to be.
Okay.
I mean, Zach's definitely part of the team for certain. I don't know if it's like a one-person job or if it's a sprite team job, really.
Yeah, and oh boy, and can I say, can I say, oh my god, that Ichigo sprite beats the shit out of the previous one that they used from that Shonen fan game that came out a long time ago that I can't remember the name of.
I believe the game you're thinking of is J-Stars.
That's it, thank you. Yeah, that's the J.
I thought you were talking about the Super Smash Flash 2 sprite he had.
No. I mean, that either way, I never liked those sprites because they were way too pixelated for
I
me.
didn't either.
They were hell on my eyes.
They also let them do a lot more character detail with them and like more movement. It feels like with these.
Yes, no, these feel like these just look great. Also, you know what? We also have the return of pixel art. They're back. We haven't had the pixel close-ups in a long time. And immediately somebody said immediately a certain somebody on YouTube said, this is giving me Metal Sonic versus Zero flashbacks.
Oh, them.
How dare they?
Yeah.
These close-ups look fantastic.
No, they look really good. And really
Slight nitpick, though, for me, is I wish that Yusuke had his jacket, because he usually wears his jacket on top of this outfit.
Yeah, I'm not even like a super big Yu Yu Hakusho fan, but I prefer the jacket.
Like, I'm okay if he eventually gets the jacket torn or he discards it, but yeah, that's my only complaint.
Yeah.
I guess my only real complaint is that I think the city background looks a little dull.
Just a little, yeah.
I imagine it's gonna transition to like a spirit world of some kind, right?
Yeah, it definitely looks like they are gonna transition. I mean, I get what the environment's trying to match both of their worlds because both of them.
It just doesn't look super interesting to me.
No. If anything, the city, if anything, it kind of does a slight disservice because both of their cityscapes in their shows look way better than this. That's just me though, but I agree. And I do love how it does. It actually starts in character because both of them can sense that each other is a spirit of their respective universes.
Ichigo, this is the second time you've mistaken someone for a hollow.
Yeah, god dang it. Okay, alright, Ichigo, buddy, I think you have a problem. I think you have a certain problem mistaking people for what they actually are. Want to go sit in the corner with Optimus Prime, and we'll talk about it.
Then again, I guess it's not like Yusuke's any better.
Yeah, no, because originally there wasn't that context. Now, as of today, obviously, with a more in-depth preview, they showed more context for what's going on in the animation, as far as like reason for fighting and whatnot.
Yeah, it's in character for both of them, especially Yusuke. Now, I'm not gonna say he does love to pick random fights. No, he does like to fight. It's just if you start shit with him, then he'll escalate it. So I do appreciate that they're keeping it very in character. Yeah, but it looks good. It looks very well animated. And I guess we can talk about the voice acting.
Yeah, I remember when it first came out, like, I wasn't convinced with Yusuke's VA work, but then because of this preview, I think it sounds a lot better than that now.
Yeah, so they haven't confirmed it, but again, if I was a betting man and based off of my familiarity with his voice, and given that I did watch his abridgment of the show, I'm 100% certain that is Lenny Patur, aka Lenny, back to reprise his role as Yusuke Urameshi. I can tell from his voice and his scream and his laughing that's Lenny.
Yeah, that seems to be the common guess is that it's Lanny.
Yeah, and he has voiced Yusuke before, not only in his abridged show, but he also came back to voice him in the Team 4-Star Cell Versus, where Cell fought both Yusuke and Kuwabara. And fun fact, because Lanny can do a Christopher Sabat impression of all of his characters, he also voices Kuwabara. So that's cool. So it's kind of nostalgic hearing Lenny back as Yusuke Urameshi, because he actually, fun fact, he also voices Raditz in the modern TFS stuff. So his Justin Cook impression is just his voice, and he does sound almost like Justin Cook. So I appreciate that they got him.
I'm gonna be honest. This could just be from an outsider from what I've heard of Yusuke's voice. I'm not 100% sold on the performance, even though it does sound good overall. But I don't know, it's because I'm not as used to Yusuke's voice. Like I do want to get into UU eventually, but I don't know. I need to hear more of it to get a better opinion, honestly. But
that's fair.
I do hope it is Lanny. From what mates told me, Yusuke is actually like a pretty like important role to Lanny. From what mates told me, and Richard, you probably know better than me, is Lanny voicing Yusuke in the first place kind of saved him a little bit. That's my understanding, at least.
He did. Saved him from a pretty dark place that he was at in his life, and he got enjoyment out of voicing Yusuke Urameshi, and that's actively one of his favorite roles next to voicing Vegeta. Yeah, so Oh, go ahead.
In that case, I am happy he's coming back to voice the character. It's just,
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean,
I'm sure it'll be a good performance regardless. It's just I
think the previews just don't do it justice because again, I've heard his Yusuke Urameshi voice in more I have seen his Yu Yu Hakusho abridged, and he did it around the same time after Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged had been out, and he had really wanted to show his appreciation for Little Karibo, which is why he did that show in the first place. He has admitted it hasn't aged well, and there's a reason he never continued it after the 20 episodes that he did, because it was essentially him just voicing all the characters.
Well, yeah, that's not exactly a great.
Grant. His Yusuke and Kuwabara voice is spot on, and and again, hearing him come back to voice them in Cell Versus was amazing because again, he just naturally, I would say, if anybody just naturally sounds close to Justin Cook's performance, it's definitely Lenny. Like he captures the inflections of Yusuke a lot better than I think even somebody like Tom Shulk would be able to. Because again, Justin Cook has a very distinctive voice.
Yeah.
And I think Lenny fits that criteria.
That.
Yes, no, fair enough. So I am happy Lenny is coming back, and it's only made me appreciate his take on Yusuke Urameshi, because it's nothing like Little Karibo's voice for Yami or Yugi. It's definitely meant to be as close to Justin's performance as possible, because Lenny has a lot of love and respect for Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah. And then Ichigo, again, definitely, totally, absolutely, 100% not Johnny Young Bosch.
Not Johnny Young Bosch. No, if I was also a betting man for the last time, I would have to say that they managed to get Adam Park to come back and reprise his role as Ichigo.
Yeah.
Either that or going back to Cell Versus real quick, they somehow got Alejandro Saab again. I think
that's true, yeah. Alejandro, or Kagi Films, as he's known on his social media circuit. Kagi Films actually, no lie, he actually does a pretty good Johnny Bosch impression. But if I'm sure that sounds more like Adam Park than it does Kagi.
From what we've
But
heard, yeah. Like, I wouldn't be upset if it was Kagi, though, but I definitely think
no, because again, that's just cool to have two. If anything, I feel like, okay, having Kagi and Lenny together would have been cool, and hey, Kagi gets another victory,
Well,
so that would have been nice. Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, like I'm excited for whoever they do get because I genuinely
We're not
do
hinting
think
towards
it
anything.
is.
Absolutely not.
Regardless,
Shut
I
up.
think the Ichigo V. Well, sorry then.
No, not you. No. I'm so sorry. Out of context.
That was really bad timing.
Yes, that was really bad timing. That was not in response to you. That was in response to we're not hinting anything.
I was gonna say the Ichigo performance is really good, so regardless who it is, I really like it.
No, I love it too.
it's good.
Like, yeah. Look, if I'm being honest,
If it's
Johnny Bosch.
If it's not totally, absolutely, 100% not Johnny Young Bosch or this Adam Park guy, who knows who that is,
or Kagi.
Yeah, if it's what I'm saying is, if it's not who, can we please get this guy to voice Nero whenever he gets on?
I agree. Yes, I would like him to voice Nero. That would be nice. I would say he would do a great job.
Not that Nero.
No, not that Nero. No, the other one.
I just had a thought. If one of these characters is somehow Christopher Guerrero again, then we're like, well,
oh my god. Oh gosh.
Yeah, if it's Christopher Guerrero, whoever he's voicing, well, we just signed their death warrant.
He came so close last time, at least.
He did. Yeah, I'm excited for this animation. It looks like it's gonna be great. Again, if Zach is the main lead editor on it, then you can only expect good things from Zach, because Zach Attack has always been a great, fantastic sprite animator.
Oh. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
I don't think it's love, like hearing behind-the-scenes stories from Zach, if he ever talks about him.
Yeah, no, Zach has always been my favorite. Like, next to Luis in Origin, Zach has always been one of my favorite sprite animators in Death Battle.
Yeah. I still can't believe Ghost Rider vs. Spawn is only him.
Yeah, no, and now, will he be able to top himself with that episode? We don't know. I guess Sean and I are the only ones who can come to that conclusion ourselves, because we have a lot of investment into both these characters. More one than the other. So, hey, if it can be a great start to the Death Battle to 26, I'll take it. If it can be even better, I'll take it as well.
Yeah, man, like it's gonna be a fun time this Sunday.
All right then. Well, if there's nothing else, I think we jump right into the ultimate question.
Yeah. Who be winning?
Who be winning? So for this one, we have Sean here. Sean, say hello.
Hello.
What is going on?
Just wanted a break.
Alright.
Please tell me that was intentional.
There we go, all fixed.
Okay.
There.
Well, we heard the gist of it anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, no, I'm like, hello, BrobusCast wanted a break.
Oh. Your mic just absolutely screwed you up. I'm gonna say that right now.
Yeah, no, Discord went to red connection, so that was weird.
Well,
joy.
We heard it in chunks. I'll say that, but we got the gist. Yeah, I know I said I was super interested in getting into Bleach. Really didn't want to do it for this episode, so I just let Sean do it instead.
It did so well with the first time, to be fair.
True. So yeah, Sean here is repping Ichigo, and then Richard here has been glazing up Yu Yu Hakusho all this time. He's gonna be repping Yusuke. If you couldn't tell, we definitely didn't hint at that earlier. Don't shut up. No, we didn't.
Richard, why do I get the feeling Richard was practically begging to cover Yusuke?
Good question. Anyway,
okay, I'm back.
Hello. We're getting into debate now.
All right, debate time.
Yeah. To catch you up, I already said both of you are repping your respective characters.
Hi.
In case it wasn't obvious from how we've been talking about this match lately.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything really we need to address before getting into it. I mean, I guess I didn't do shit for this, so is there anything you guys need to address before we get started?
Obviously.
Oh, go ahead.
Obviously, the manga for Bleach kind of ended technically, but Thousand Year Blood War has added new context that has been endorsed and proven canon by its mangaka. So some things are going to be referenced to that.
I'm only going off of the anime. I never had the chance to read the manga in conjunction and the OVA. I have also not seen the films. I was told by BrobusCast helped me out. I was told that they're pretty inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. And if there turns out to be stuff that actually matters, then sorry, I didn't get to it. It took me literally 3 weeks to binge all of Yu Yu Hakusho. So the anime was my primary concern. My voice is a little raw, so I don't think I'll be able to do a full-on, maybe 5 or 8 minute story on who Yusuke is as a character.
Well, I was going to say, we can try to keep it brief, because I know you want to go out with the misses.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, and this is Ichigo versus Yusuke, so technically Sean's going first. So you get to have
a
little bit
so
of
I
a
can keep
chance
mine brief for Richard's sake, if that's all right.
That's fine. However you want.
But also, Richard gets to take a vocal break. So,
yeah.
So, Sean, the floor is all yours, but you can't take it home.
I don't want to take it home. Actually, it's heavy.
Oh, we cleaned it just for you. Anyway, go on.
You guys just said I couldn't take it.
Well, whatever.
Anyway. Oh. All right, I'm ready. As a young boy, Ichigo Kurosaki was different than most. To quote something said early on by ZDogg in the cold opening of BrobusCast, he could see dead people. But he didn't really know these were dead people at first, because when he first started seeing these dead people, he was just a kid. One day, out with his mother on a walk down by the riverbank, Ichigo saw a little girl sitting there, and he thought she was going to jump in the river. So Ichigo, being the kind-hearted young boy he is, wanted to go help her, and then his mom followed pursuit, only to be turned out to be his mother's demise, changing Ichigo from this happy young man into a very upset teenage delinquent of sorts. Would get into fights constantly, and eventually would take karate lessons. One fateful night, an incident happened right outside Ichigo's home. Another one of these spirits came by. This was a hollow, a spirit gone rogue, turned into a monstrous form with a really cool design. On the site was Soul Reaper Rukia Kuchiki, assigned to dismantle and destroy the hollow, but she was gravely injured. In a desperate time and desperate need, she offered to let Ichigo help her out. And thus Ichigo stabbed himself and became a substitute Soul Reaper with a giant sword. Seriously though, I like the sword in the manga and the anime originally. I think it's sick. But Ichigo was technically not a Soul Reaper, he was a substitute Soul Reaper. What does that mean, you ask? Well, Soul Reapers are anime Grim Reaper swordsmen. Hey, I'm glad someone got that. They are not only good with swordman combat, but they focus on harnessing spiritual energy in different variations, from spiritual pressure to help determine how strong an enemy could potentially be, to wielding it into Reiatsu, a spiritual energy manifestation that Ichigo can wield into his Zanpakuto, which is the term for his sword. And it turns out Ichigo was surprisingly very capable as a Soul Reaper, despite being a substitute, with a little bit of training from Rukia, and eventually getting trained by Urahara, or as my family calls him, Hat and Clogs. Looks aren't everything though. Urahara was a very good teacher in teaching Ichigo how to use his powers at first. Though there were some complications, like one day he ran into Lieutenant Renji Abarai and Captain Byakuya Kuchiki, sent to take Rukia back. Ichigo, despite his tenacity keeping up with Renji, was defeated by both Renji and Byakuya. So he did what every anime protagonist did. He determined himself to get stronger. To do that, there was a lot of things he needed to do, like understanding his Zanpakuto. These swords in anime are different than your traditional anime swords. They each have a spirit manifested inside of them, and when you say their name, they awaken. And for Ichigo, he had access to Zangetsu. But this sword was different. How, you ask? Besides it changing the signs again. It's a constant thing Ichigo does with every transformation. I apologize. Especially to fan artists. But Zangetsu wasn't one spirit. It's actually later revealed that he's two spirits. Of a sense. You have Old Man Zangetsu, as the fanbase has dubbed him, and the hollowified version of Zangetsu, each teaching Ichigo his techniques to awaken and access more of his powers. Eventually, he would go into the Soul Society. The Soul Society, a different realm from the Immortal Plane. It's basically the anime underworld. Make sense? Good. Because they labeled Rukia a traitor and sentenced her to execution. So Ichigo, alongside his friends Orihime, Chad, and Aruyu, went to go save Rukia from this cruel fate. Along the way, Ichigo would run into a lot of tough customers at first, from different soul captains. One of the toughest fights he encounters early on in the Soul Society, Kenpachi Zaraki. Yes, the same guy who destroyed a meteor the size of Great Britain. Kenpachi was one of the toughest fights Ichigo had up until that point, because Kenpachi was a Soul Captain, the same rank as Byakuya, who bested him the first time. And with the powerhouse that was Kenpachi, Ichigo proved that he got stronger. Eventually, in his rematch with Renji, he did end up winning, eventually turning a former enemy into an ally to help save Rukia. But obviously, more tests were to come to save Rukia. Eventually, he had to have a rematch with Byakuya. And after a really cool fight from one of the most broken Bankais at that point, Ichigo eventually was able to help Rukia out. And eventually, Ichigo would learn what his Bankai does. His Bankai, Tensa Zangetsu. It is the classic sword, beam, slash. You've seen it everywhere, and it's been copied and pasted how many times now? I forget. Basically, imagine being able to conjure up a spiritual wave of energy and just splaying it at your opponents with one swing of the sword. It does insane power. Eventually, Ichigo can use multiple Zangetsus at once when awakening his forms. Obviously, if you folks are familiar with Naruto versus Ichigo, you would understand at one point to defeat Aizen. We talked about Aizen before on BrobusCast with his complicated plan and his broken abilities would be the toughest fight at that point for Ichigo again. But not only did Ichigo catch that sword, he expended all of his power to defeat Aizen. Literally, his final Bankai at the time expended all the power that he had, thus ending his story. Temporarily. Events happened after that that I don't believe were covered fully in that episode. I have the notes down here. But there was a lot to go over, but I'm trying to think of how to simplify it the best.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm going to shout out some folks recently. The G1 blog, they recently did a triple threat match of the Akatsuki, Esparta, and the Warlords, I believe, correct, BrobusCast?
Yeah.
So Ichigo had this cool device similar to the Esparta using one called Fullbrings. After about 7 months, Ichigo would use this to help get his powers back. He needed them in order to save more people and to save the spirit world and his own world from a threat much bigger than Aizen at the time. In order to do that, he had to prove himself and get the powers, and it turns out he had another heritage that, shockingly, as BrobusCast brought up earlier, was another heritage. Remember Uryu? He wasn't a Soul Reaper or anything like that. He was a Quincy. Think of them like magic archers of sorts, using spiritual energy to help purify spirits. And it turns out Ichigo also had that. And he also had hollow powers deep inside him, which he needed in order to take on some members of the Esparta. For example, everyone's favorite Esparta that I've seen so much because they put him in more crossover fighting games, Grimjow Jaegerjaws. His last name's hard to pronounce. I apologize if it is butchered. Grimjow's abilities and speed were unprecedented at the time for someone like Ichigo. But through their fights, Grimjow got a better respect for Ichigo, just like Kenpachi did. He saw someone who is as good of a fighting for what he truly believes in. And he maybe, just maybe, that Ichigo would be the one to dethrone the current big bad due to 1,000-year blood war. What could be the world's biggest threat at that point? Even someone that Aizen fears. Someone that could tremble the spirit society to its core. Yuak. His spelling's weird. I know. Yuak was one of the scariest people in Bleach, going toe-to-toe with Yamato, who, with one clang from the sword on the Soul Society, one of my favorite shots from the 1,000-Year Blood War anime, you see a giant ray of fire just emit and destroy so much architecture in this world. And Ichigo has to go take him down with everything he has. In order to do that, he needed one last push. One more form.
He had apparently that one push was to leave the Discord server.
There we go.
Welcome back. One more push.
Okay.
Okay.
Gosh. Okay.
I hate Discord.
It's great, isn't it?
Isn't
I was having a
it,
problem
though?
with the lad stuff too today. What the fuck?
All right. Yes.
Anyway, so apparently you had one more push, and that push was to leave our server.
One more push. Apparently Discord was like, make sure you actually get this right.
Yes, but go.
So, in order for one more push, he needed to unlock the true potential inside him, the true ultimate power set that he could access. True Shikai and true Bankai. Now I should note that while all these powers and speed increase his stats, it's never been fully drawn as of yet, but thankfully 1,000-Year Blood War is working on that. But to preference how dangerous this attack is, Yuak is afraid of true Bankai. He is afraid of what this power could be. And at that time, Yuak was in Soul King form, which is his most powerful form at the time. If possible, this could be an attack that would destroy Ewok and possibly out entirely of both the real world and the Soul Society if it is not wielded properly. Ichigo's whole story and arc is always about pushing himself, getting stronger, and using whatever family heritages that he has in store inside him. He really is the definition of a shonen protagonist, and the precursor to Asta. How do you get stronger? You constantly train, you constantly evolve, and you never give up. That is the story and powers that I will briefly mention for Ichigo Kurosaki.
All right.
All right. Well done.
Thank you.
Oh,
I'm going to let Richard go because I need to pee real quick. I apologize.
get
Thank
off it.
Floor is yours, Richard.
All right, Richard, you're up. Let's talk about Yusuke.
Right, I'll keep it short and brief. What happens when you die? That's often the question we're asked. It's something we think about. Will we go to hell? Will we go to heaven? How are our actions judged? Well, Yusuke Urameshi was a 14-year-old boy who had a chip on his shoulder. Everybody was always afraid of him. He was always skipping school. He didn't want to be told what to do. And the only person in his life that he had was his girlfriend. Kariko. I can't pronounce her name. I'm too tired. I'm sorry. And of course, he had his rival, Kuwabara, who often would challenge him daily and would often get his ass kicked by Yusuke daily. And Yusuke one day was taking a walk when he saw that a little boy was playing with his soccer ball out in traffic. After warning him not to do that and then feeling bad when he had to scold the kid, he did a little funny dance with him. And then the kid immediately disobeyed his orders and did it again and went out to get his soccer ball when he saw an oncoming car. Yusuke, not knowing why he was doing what he was doing, saved the boy and got hit out of the car by the car, and his soul went out of his body. He was pronounced dead, and his soul was taken by Death herself. And turns out Death is a blue-haired girl, and she told him that even though he did a good thing, they didn't have room for him in either heaven or hell. So she took him to her boss, the junior prince Koima, who basically is the son of King Yema, not the King Yema from Dragon Ball, another King Yema. And Koima made him a deal. If he'll agree to be their spirit detective, then he can actually do some good with his life, and he'll get a chance to come back. Yusuke, of course, being the chip on his shoulder protagonist that he is, promptly told Diaper a Boy and Pacifier Mouth to go shove it. And so he went to his own funeral and saw that just how much his life impacted a lot of people. His drunken mother, his girlfriend, and even his rival Kuwabara. And so, after some crazy shenanigans to get his soul back into his body, which ended up involving him sacrificing his little companion that would either come out good or bad, depending on if his soul was good or bad, he decided to sacrifice said golden companion. And then the only way to bring him back was by a kiss from somebody who loved him. And thank God it wasn't Kuwabara. Instead, it was his girlfriend. And Yusuke was back alive. And now he was a spirit detective. Koema gave him his first case. Go retrieve some items from 2 out of the 3 people that would become not only his friends, but also one of them would be his rivals. And those were Koema, the spirit fox god, and Hiei, the 4-foot demon who had a secret behind his bandage. And eventually, after solving the case, defeating both the main two villains, and even befriending Kawama, Hiei, of course, being one of them, Yusuke would eventually go on another case that would test his spirit abilities, and eventually a crew would be assembled. It would be him, Kuwabara, Kawama, and Hiei. And after enduring a lot of painful things at the hands of the main villain, and even getting him to push his spirit levels to their absolute peak, Yusuke would eventually emerge victorious. And then he would enter the next chapter of his life that would push him as a fighter, this being the Dark Tournament. The Dark Tournament was a tournament of demons in Demon World, and whoever won it would essentially get whatever wish they wanted, and they would also get to fight the strongest. And that's where Hiei met his most deadliest foe, Toguro, a literal Bane shonen protagonist who could just get bigger, more roided out, and eventually kick your ass if he wanted to use 100% of his power, which he didn't often do, capping out at 80%. And after a rigorous second round of training from his mentor, Genkai, who trained him the first time, he went through an emotional blowout, watching his mentor Genkai get killed by her former lover and best friend Toguro, getting to see his best friend Kurama get hurt, Hiei barely get out alive after using the dark black dragon of the flame, and finally the kicker, getting to see his quote-unquote dead best friend Kuwabara pass away in front of him after Toguro impaled his heart. And that eventually pushed Yusuke into stronger heights, finally defeating Toguro at 100% of his power, sending Toguro to the afterlife where he requested to go in limbo for the crimes that he committed. And Yusuke would then go on to do one last case. That would be going to find his demon father. For you see, after a little bout with another demon that basically brought him close to his demon heritage, as it is revealed, I keep saying Hiei, I'm sorry. Yusuke is revealed to have demon blood in him thanks to one of his ancestors. And upon going to see his ancestor, turns out he was dying, as he forbade himself from eating a human for 700 years, and he was passing the throne and his entire world to his son, Yusuke. So Yusuke did what he wanted to do. He trained for a whole year, again, with Shaolin demon monks, just to kick his dad's ass for taking his victory away from him. And unfortunately, he would finally get the chance, but it turned out his dad was dying. And in his final words, he told him on how he met his demon, his ancestor mother. And it was a beautiful story that made Yusuke appreciate his dad. For the first time in his life, he finally had a father that he could look up to. And by the time he realized it, he was gone. So Yusuke decided to honor his father by bringing democracy to the demon world, hosting the first ever Dark Tournament, which essentially acts like the presidential elect if it was a tournament run and done every 3 years. And after fighting Risuryu, who was the strongest combatant at that time, Yusuke pushed himself as far as he could after realizing what he really is fighting for. It's not because he wants to fight, it's because he's fighting for the people he loves. They are what push him, they are what drive him. And so, after the tournament was done and over with, Yusuke having his last defeat at the hands of Ryusu, and then realizing he had to take care of some things before going home. And thus, he was reunited with not only his friends, but also his girlfriend, and he would continue to be the spirit detective. If there's ever a demon that needs chasing down, or if something just happens to get in his way, Well, then he's going to come out fist swinging, but a little motion of his finger and screaming, bang. And that's it for my intro for him.
All right.
All right.
All right. Well done.
Oh, no. I'd rather save the powers and abilities for our debate.
Oh, I said well done.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Man, can you
Sorry. Hearing.
Can you tell we're getting a little tired?
Yeah, just a little.
It's 9 o'clock at night here.
Yeah,
It
it's 8
sucks.
o'clock at night.
It sucks that this happened. This had to happen while we're getting into the debate, but you know what can you do? Okay.
Yeah, I know, but I'll try and be energetic.
I guess I guess opening question right out the gate. This is just so not a problem at all because like obviously the fight shows that they're obviously fighting. Okay. Right out the gate, what's the argument for Yusuke being able to see Ichigo?
So, as a spirit detective and as somebody who is in tune with his own spirit energy and demon energy, Yusuke has the ability to see supernatural beings invisible to the human eye, and he also, very much like a Dragon Ball character, can sense their energies. If somebody has a high energy, he can sense it. If somebody has a higher energy, he'll be able to sense it. And if somebody is losing their energy, he will sense that they are fading. He can also
literally
see
the title
things.
he has.
Well, I mean,
Yes.
yeah, I know. Literally, all you had to say, good enough for me, was just that he can see
Spirit
invisible.
detective.
Well, no,
Yeah.
he can see invisible people. It's like, okay, well, that's literally all Ichigo is. So cool.
Yes.
Like, I know that's like so not an argument, right? But like, I just had to get that. It's kind of the same thing with like JoJo characters and their
You're
opponents
trying to
being
see
able to see
Mahito?
their stands, or that too, yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Um,
thinking of like being able to see JoJo stands.
Yeah.
But that works too. But yeah, it's just it's the opening question right at the gate. Obviously it affects absolutely freaking nothing, because A, why would you do this fight if you couldn't see Ichigo, and B, from Sean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but from both of Bleach's previous episodes have said that like Soul Reapers, they're invisible, but they're still like physically present. It's like you can still touch them. You can still affect them.
Yes.
So it's like even if Yusuke couldn't see Ichigo, he could still like feel him. I guess it's so wrong. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He did
All
like
right.
even if he couldn't see Ichigo, he could still punch him in the face and it would still hurt. The end. But
Yes,
he can see him. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I guess I can talk about the abilities that he has since Sean brought up his.
Yeah, go ahead.
To give an idea of the power and abilities. If
Yeah.
there's a question about that.
Well, there might be, but go ahead.
Okay. So, of course, Yusuke Urameshi has being able to harness both demon and spirit energy, has his small but deadly quality signature attacks. Of course, the main one is his spirit gun. Originally, the spirit gun could only be fired one time, as it is a concentration of spirit energy into the finger. But over time, thanks to training from Genkai, Yusuke would be able to not only fire the spirit gun more than once, totaling at least 4 times of how many he can get out per shot, but he can also do a double shot, so basically like a 2-barrel shot, And ever since his training and fighting with Toguro, his spirit gun can now be fired into a large beam that can basically act like a Kamehameha, meaning that it can travel for miles upon miles upon miles, and he's shot it all the way up to the sky itself. And anything that is in the vicinity of the spirit gun, it will be destroyed and completely disintegrated and evaporated. And as of his demon energy, he can now mix the spirit gun with both demon and spirit energy, meaning it can get through force fields of the like. He also has his shotgun blast. It's basically like the spirit gun, but it can fire energy in multiple different directions. So ironically, he calls it his shotgun blast, but it's more like an assault rifle. And he also has an energy force field, which can protect him from any types of attacks. And finally, there is what he inherited from Genkai upon training with her, which is the Spirit Wave. Now, I should note that the Spirit Wave is also like the Spirit Gun, but instead of that being concentrated into one finger, the Spirit Wave is essentially like Vegeta's final explosion from the fight he had with Majin Buu, where it can be exploited, it can be shot out of his entire body, it can be shot in either parts of his body, like a fist or a leg, and it also acts as a healing factor, as Yusuke was shot multiple times in all of his major arteries in his leg and in his heart. And after what was potentially maybe a couple of minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes most, it healed them all together instantaneously. So that is the power Yusuke is packing.
Okay.
Okay.
So I guess it doesn't sound like either of them are super, like, hacksy. Unless I mean, I guess regeneration is nice, but that's
Yes.
really about it. I guess. And then doesn't Ichigo have that too?
Yeah.
Okay.
In some cases, he can just use like his Shikai cloth to just like stop a wound from bleeding or anything.
Oh, nice. I guess actually that's an interesting question. What's like the extent of their healing? Let's start with Ichigo. Like, what's the most that Ichigo's ever healed from?
The most he's healed from in instantaneous or after a while. Instantaneously, I would say definitely getting stabbed through the chest by Kenpachi, but that's mostly because of Zangetsu. Zangetsu is able to help Ichigo heal up a lot quicker.
Okay.
And there have been like times in fights where Zangetsu is able to like protect Ichigo from certain attacks. I'm pretty sure it's implied that it's Old Man Zangetsu because at the time he wasn't like visual on there.
When you say over time, like what? Okay, I guess let's go into that real quick. Just first of all, what has he healed from over time? I guess.
Well, obviously, his first encounter with like Byakuya took a lot of time to heal from, because of Byakuya's Shikai ability, which, for those who may not remember, his sword turned to like a million like flower petals that are like secret hidden blades that he fires. Or in other cases, getting pounded by Soul King Yuak took a little bit of time to heal from.
I guess how much time?
I think it was like minutes or like it, because it's implied that he's fully healed when he unlocks True Awakening Bankai, but like if it wasn't for that, it would take minutes.
Okay. He just muted. What about Yusuke? Richard, you still here? Okay.
Yes. Yusuke, so to answer both questions, Yusuke's healing factor kind of goes back and forth. He has healed instantaneously from his literal bones being cracked and snapped off like twigs when he fought more physically stronger opponents. And as for as I mentioned earlier, when the third villain he fought, who was an ex-spirit detective who had multiple personality syndrome, he could morph his hand into a gun, and he shot Yusuke point blank in the heart, and he proceeded to torture, one of the personalities proceeded to torture Yusuke by, as I said, shooting him repeatedly in every major artery in his leg over and over and over again in alphabetical and consecutive order. And after, I would say, like maybe 5 minutes, Yusuke was able to heal from all of those bullet wounds, thanks to his spirit energy and spirit wave. But if you were to, say, chop his hand off, which he has had his hand chopped off, it can be reattached and given back to him, but that would be very extensive.
Okay.
It's not instantaneous.
So basically, these two are just like, aside from just regeneration, these two are basically just like powerhouses, right?
Yes.
There's not really anything crazy going on here.
I would actually make the argument that if this were to come down to a physical bout, Yusuke would actually win.
I mean, the thing I've always said, like, from a physical aspect, sure, if we're just talking raw power. As Ichigo's, like, main stick, which was power, comes from his spiritual attacks and all that.
Well, I would say physically, Yusuke gets the edge in regardless, and I'm not even talking in just power. I'm talking about physically if these two were to go fist with one another.
I mean, Ichigo's no slouch, and I do think his training and martial arts are better than what Yusuke has.
I would only agree to that in terms of human martial arts, because Yusuke
well, not
does
even human martial arts, because obviously he's a karate while human, but one of the things he trained in is a spiritual martial art called Shunpo, one of his teachers being Yoruichi, of course, the master of Shunpo.
Right. Well, and I would also say that Yusuke has demon training as well, as he was literally taught by demon Shaolin monks who served his ancestral father, and it took him a year for him to even not only be on their level, but even surpass them. And these are demons who can literally go Mr. Fantastic by shifting all their major organs and stretching themselves into ridiculous places. And Yusuke was able to beat them and learn their martial arts as they were kicking his ass.
Yeah, you know.
So
like
Yusuke is very... Yeah, like you do. And also there's the training he got from Genkai, which also was very martial arts based, because his training with Genkai involved him keeping his spirit energy in his index finger for 12 straight hours while doing a handstand, learning to have energy learning to block energy projectiles by literally having them fired at him point blank range. And he also learned better durability because he has withstood a lot of insane shit that I don't think on a physical level that Ichigo would be able to survive.
Ichigo has taken a pounding from a lot of heavy hitters in the show, so I definitely think he can take it. There are times where, like, in his later forms, he has no-sold attacks from big power hitters.
So one example I would like to bring up as a counter to that. All right, so here, do you guys remember the Zoro taking Luffy's pain energy ball that was mentioned in his analysis?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So what if I were to tell you that Yusuke, upon getting the spirit wave transferred to him, to him by his master Genkai. What if I told you he went through that and multiplied that by 100 times? Because the energy that he absorbed from her was equivalent to a large star, and it involved him having to literally go through 7 hours of agonizing pain where his bones would start to crackle, twist, contort as he even tried to stand up, bleeding profusely throughout every major skin and organ as he tried to twist and turn from the agony, and also being paralyzed from even walking. And each time he did try to get up, he would always smash his head in to block out the pain. And then finally having his entire skin burned to 3rd-degree levels and being dehydrated. And he managed, and then he finally managed to survive all of the spirit energy being transferred into him, and now he had all of his master's powers that quadrupled his existing power.
Whoa. Okay. That's a lot.
Yeah, and he basically he was going to die again, but he somehow managed to overcome all of that, even when his master Genkai took it out of him and was ready to take it back, but he grabbed her by the hand and simply said, "Who the hell do you think you are? My mother trying to tell me what's best for me? Put it back in, you old hag." And he took it again, but worse. And he finally managed to overcome it by saving his soul companion that was tied to him after he basically was almost dead and had no life energy left inside of him. And he managed to finally get out of the cave and rest for literally a day and a half.
Ichigo has also survived something kind of similar, but bigger. Specifically, it was against... I always butcher his name, and I hate it. Yoliquiri? He's one of the big Sparta heavy hitters. He won by a powerful... Huh?
Is it Ukiura?
Yeah.
Okay. That's how you say his name, I guess.
His Lense del Rempago had absolutely no effect on Ichigo, and this was an attack powerful enough to make an explosion bigger than Las Noches, which has been shown and stated that it takes 6 days to walk around. It's that big of a structure.
Another counter I would like to bring up is Yusuke survived his fight with Toguro, who was at 80% of his power. I want to point out that 80% power Toguro, when he powered up, his spirit energy would basically send out little waves that would kill any demon or any human that just happened to be by watching him.
But I feel like at this point, Richard, you and I are going back and forth because we each believe that Ichigo and Yusuke are more durable than the other.
I personally still think it's Yusuke because, again, Ichigo may be able to...
What I'm saying is that no matter what, we're just going to constantly go back and forth.
Yes, but physically, I could still say that I think Yusuke has, in my own opinion, gone through more shit that definitely would have given Ichigo a hell of a time, even if he was in Yusuke's shoes. Especially tanking star level spirit energy that was literally, that could only be passed on to you if it almost kills you.
Well, if Sean's not gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. You say star, and I raise you potential. Sean, back me up. You might know where I'm going with this. I raise you potentially universes.
That's mostly implied to the Soul King.
Yeah.
Especially Soul King Walk.
Yeah. So talk about that real quick.
Go ahead.
Because that's like I think that's like a big part of this whole thing.
So it's kind of implied that the Soul King is an absurdly powerful being, powerful enough the entire universe of Bleach. And what I mean by that is the entire Soul Society and our own world are separate universes in Bleach. Sort of. It's complicated cosmology, I guess. Long story short, Yuak has these powers. And Ichigo has survived getting hit by said powers in his ultimate form. So I do think, based off that alone, Ichigo, if he comes down to it, he can survive pretty much anything Yusuke throws at him.
Should we talk about speed?
Yeah, I was gonna say, who's faster?
I 100% think it's Ichigo.
I think it's both of them, and I could actually see Death Battle probably giving this one a tie, because going over to Yu Yu Hakusho, now, granted, there is a lot of contention, and it all comes down to what they believe. But if they still believe the logic they gave back during Sasuke versus Hiei, then there would be an argument to be made that they are going to cap Yusuke Urameshi at the speed of light, because you see, the spirit gun is made out of light, and it has been bounced off of mirrors, and it also has acted in very much like how light does. Now, yes, there is also, before anybody says it, either Sean or Bro, yes, there is also another contention to this that could make or break the argument, is that when the spirit gun is fired, it explodes upon contact when it hits somebody, and Yusuke was able to actually get it to reflect off of a mirror, a tiny mirror, mind you, and hit Hiei, as in their first fight, he was nowhere near as fast as him in his base form, until he managed to outsmart him. Furthermore, as he's trained multiple times, twice with Genkai, and another time for a whole year with his father's monks, basically, let me put it to you like this. The second time he got done training with Genkai in preparation for the Dark Tournament, Hiei wanted to test out just how powerful and how fast Yusuke was, so he quickly was jabbing him with his sword at his fastest speed. And each time, Yusuke dodged nonchalantly and even caught Hiei's sword with his fingertips, simply not even trying. He's also managed to dodge 5 lightning bolts that are converted into demon energy, so it still counts as light timing. And by the end of his series, he actually can create after images by moving so fast, and he also ran for 4 straight days, no rest, no relaxation, all the way to his father's castle on foot at superhuman speeds.
That's cute.
All right,
and
so Sean, you wanna?
I believe.
May I remind you, he scales to Hiei because him and Hiei are S classes.
I guess okay. Hold on. Sorry, Sean. Real quick about the spirit gun. So you said it can either it can reflect off of reflective surfaces, or it can just straight up explode.
Yes.
Okay.
It can act in both properties of light, where it either can explode or it can be reflective. And this is where it all comes down to, will they count it as light-based? Because if so, then I think that they're going to, with the training that he did, and since they will scale him to Hiei, who, let me remind you, Hiei is literally the fastest demon of Yu Yu Hakusho's universe, as he can literally move so fast that not even Yusuke, his equal, can barely keep track of him. And there have been multiple times... Hold on. Excuse me. There have been multiple times... Thank you. There have been multiple times where Hiei has done killer finishing moves before literally anybody, and I mean anybody, whether they be A or S class demons, can see him.
Okay, so
he has literally killed people before they can blink their eyes.
Okay, so wait. So you're arguing. I'm getting conflicting messages here. So I hope you'll excuse me. But you're saying that Hiei. Okay, so you're saying that Hiei and Yusuke are equals.
Yes, they are. That is where I'm getting at so far. Yes, they're equals in speed.
But then you're also saying that Hiei moved so fast that Yusuke couldn't see all of his attacks.
No, let me correct that. He moved so fast that Yusuke could just barely make out what he did, meaning that Yusuke can see what he's doing, but he can't see all of it. Even his teammate and friend Kawama was able to see it a little bit better, but not all of the moves. So, example, if you go back to Hiei versus Sasuke, they did show a clip. Hiei basically killed a person more than 7 times. Yusuke, in his more weaker state at that time, was able to only keep track of 4 out of the 7 moves, whereas Kurama was able to keep track of more than 7.
Okay.
Now, and again, as Yusuke did get better with his training over time, he can keep track of Hiei better than he could before.
Okay, that makes more sense. Then I guess going back to the spirit gun real fast, is it ever like described as a light-based attack, like a light speed attack?
So, in series, it is energy that is converted into light. That is the best way I can explain it.
That's great. But okay.
No. To give you just a simple answer, no. But it can move. It essentially, it's confusing. It's basically shonen rules. It acts and behaves as a light projectile would.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess let's just roll with it then. Sean, you've been hiding something. I know it. So.
So Ichigo is definitely, I do think, is a lot faster for a couple of feats. I will bring up 2 in specific. Remember his fight with Byakuya, like the rematch? Byakuya uses Bankai, and Ichigo blocked over 100 million of these. The flower petals. If you thought one sword was bad enough, imagine blocking 100 million, and he was fine. Now that's not insane enough for you. How about his fight against Stern Nature? They've been compared to Huwok, and Huwok's attack, the Ashwalin, is definitely faster than light. I'm gonna be straight up, because at that point, Huwok also absorbed the powers of Mimihaga, who was definitely faster than light. And Ichigo was able to direct 20 up-close arrows point blank from this person. And that's without being in a hollow form, which is a multiplier. And with Bankai.
Well, okay. You read the Organization Royale, right? Right, John?
Vaguely.
Okay. Do you remember a certain feat brought up? If you don't, then I'll say it. Do you remember a certain feat brought up for Mr. Stark?
Which one?
Him shooting 1,000 Ceros all at once.
Oh, okay. I focus more on Stern Nature, not
don't-
Stark. I apologize.
So you don't remember it? Okay, cool. Let me pull up the blog real quick. This shit's annoying. Oh, why are you in parts? I know why, but why? Oh, this part won't. Okay. Basically, it gets like over 1,000 times faster than light.
Yeah, that's without any sort of multipliers from Ichigo's point. Because at that point, this was Ichigo in the True Shikai of Ichigo, which was the start of the 1,000-year Blood War arc. And if you still believe the guidebooks, which some people still do for scaling purposes, and like at bare minimum, it's likely that true Bankai form is at least 10 times faster than that. So so at minimum, 10,000 times faster than light. Possible the math's mixed up somewhere, but that's just the baseline.
Okay, yeah, Stark Zero Volley, 1,276.2 times faster than light. Actually, apparently Soul King has a Soul King shockwaves crossing the realms, gets over 1,500 times faster than light. So there's that too.
Yeah. And there's also the fact that Ichigo was able to, and I quote, blitz the shit out of Soul King Yuak in his early awakened state. So yes, I do think Ichigo is a lot faster than Yusuke will ever be.
I don't know how much the percentage is going to be because, again, assuming they give them... And again, it's not even assuming... since they admitted a long time ago that both Hiei and Yusuke are on equal terms, any crazy speed feat that Hiei can do, Yusuke can not only match, but just do even better. And also, there's the fact that both of them are upper S-class demons. So, I want to remind you, the higher the class of demons, the faster and more powerful that they get.
How much faster?
Well, yeah, that's the thing, because with Bankai, it's multipliers.
I don't have an exact unfortunate number, but it all just depends on just how... It comes from their natural speed. So again, Hiei has always been very natural fast. I know I'm talking about Hiei, but he's... Since...
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. But Hiei has always been naturally fast, and this was... But here's the thing. Let me just give you an idea. Hiei, when he started out fighting Yusuke, Hiei was classified at that time as a D-class demon, and then he jumped up to a B-class in less than a couple of months, and he was getting even faster. So it's not necessarily multipliers, it's literally, okay, the more they fight, the more they train, and the higher they progress through the classes, the faster they get. So it all just comes down to basically how much they improve as fighters. Now, the calculations for the lightning and the spirit gun reflecting off of the mirror are the only things that can be calculable. Other than that, there really are no multipliers that exist at this moment that I can find.
Okay, well then let me explain your dilemma right now. So the best that you've from my understanding, the best you can say right now is that Yusuke has a light speed attack in the spirit gun. And that's fine. That's all well and good. But Sean brought up that Ichigo is blitzing someone over 1,500 times faster.
Well, I didn't want to use this as a speed thing because I think it can be used as a power. But there is Yusuke's final battle with Yame, who, and if you remember the last time when they needed to calculate the percentage of power, Yame and Yusuke are the ones who created the giant fucking beam that reached all the way out of Spirit World. I'm sorry, excuse me, Demon World. Now, assuming you have it, then I would have to say, and judging the beam, and again, even Death Battle themselves said that how they did that beam calculation, it probably was a little wrong on their part. They even say it in episode that if we just look at this from the angle of the tree, and assuming the tree is reaching into the clouds, that means that beam is even larger and it's exuding even more power, but it's also traveling out of the demon world at a faster rate. So at most, you could say that that is a light speed attack.
Would it really be dodging if he's in the center of it, though?
Well, he didn't get hurt, and he punched it, and he punched Yame in the face while their beams were
That sounds like it's more of like a strength feat rather than a speed feat. Is the problem.
It's the only thing. Yes, I know. It's the only thing that I can do, and yes, I do understand the dilemma. But I do not think that Yusuke is below subsonic. I definitely do believe that.
Well,
Like
that's not the comparison here. You're
No,
saying,
I know. I'm just saying out loud that okay, there is a dilemma here, and this is kind of the detriment of working with a shonen anime that unfortunately did end and didn't have any expansions. There's really nothing else I can do. I'm basically pushing a boulder up a hill here. The best I can say is that Yusuke does cap out at the speed of light, but because I don't have any multipliers to work with, I can't exactly tell you how. The best I could do is say that maybe he comes close to Ichigo's, or at the very least, depending if I wanted to highball him, he's at least equal to him, but Ichigo would definitely get a slighter advantage more than he would.
what I'm saying with my multiplier argument, though, is this. Without the multiplier, as Robuscast brought up with the math, it's 1,500 times the speed of light. With the multiplier, it's a lot faster.
Okay, what is the multiplier exactly? Like by how much?
Yeah, you've been saying it, but what
I
is
talked
it?
about it. Didn't I mention the number for the Kumagai? I thought I said it was like 5 to 10 times faster.
Okay, well then there you go.
Has that been...
If you didn't before, you have now. Thank you.
Okay.
It's been in like guidebooks before as well. That's where that number's coming from.
Okay, cool. All right. And this like the fighting the Soul King. That's without like Bankai stuff, right? That's just regular.
Yeah, when
basic Ichigo?
when he was able to outspeed Yuak, yeah, that was without the true Bankai numbers.
Okay. ZDogg, you got anything? You've been kind of silent lately.
Yeah, I'm not really, honestly,
Fair enough.
because
In that case, I think we've covered just about everything. I think we need to, and we're also
wrap
going
it
on.
up.
We're also going on for quite a bit, so we need to get our final says in.
All right.
I'm sorry, you guys are tired.
It's
If that's
fine.
my fault, I apologize.
No, it's fine.
It's fine. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I guess who wants to go first? We gotta get our final bets in. Sean, you're our guest. And your bets really don't mean much on this podcast, but I'm gonna ask you anyway. So you can say whatever the hell you want. I don't care. What do you final bet? Go.
So, okay, my final bet is Ichigo. I know I'm being very biased when I say that, but I think he's faster, he has more versatility, and I think, while yes, physically speaking, Yusuke might be better, spiritually, which is what the fight is mostly going to be on, that's where Ichigo takes this. So my final bet is Ichigo Kurosaki.
Okay. I'll go next, Grit. I'll let Richard rest up a smidge.
okay,
ZDogg, why don't the two of us go first?
deal with that. Yeah.
I guess I'll start. Yeah, I think I gotta go with Ichigo too. Like, I mean, Yusuke's good. Don't get me wrong, and he definitely seems like he has, a lot of like smaller advantages that in any other match could probably, like push him forward quite a bit. It's just against someone that much faster and arguably that much more powerful. Like physical strength, sure, but raw power overall, I feel like is in Ichigo's court quite a bit. So against someone that much faster and that much more powerful, I gotta go with Ichigo.
All right. Is that all?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Yeah, ultimately, I think I will also be siding with Ichigo. It sounds like Yusuke will be a very worthy challenge and will be very difficult to put down. In fact, I'd argue maybe at least his healing might be better based on this discussion. But ultimately, I think just with a speed difference that great, plus either matching or vastly surpassing in power, yeah, I just think ultimately I think Ichigo has the tools to take Isuke down. So I'm going with Ichigo as well.
All right, Richard, you want to finish us off? I imagine the answer is no, but you got to do it anyway.
It is hard. That I knew this going in. I wouldn't be able, in my heart, even if I had all of the abilities I wanted, I wouldn't be able to convince everyone that Yusuke would win. Yes, I am biased for Yusuke, and I love Yu Yu Hakusho. And I have become a new fan of it, but the reality is this really was just going up against a brick wall, and I don't mean that in the way you think I mean it. I mean that in the sense that, okay, there's nothing I can do to take the wall down with my bare hands. I don't believe this is going to be a Blade Buffy fight. I do believe that Death Battle will give some advantages to Yusuke, even if it means they have to, for lack of a better word, they have to lower. They have to lowball Ichigo a little bit to make it more fair, because Sean didn't even bring it up, but Ichigo, as calced by the Bleach fans, and if you ask them, thanks to the 1,000-Year Blood War, Ichigo is basically low complex multiversal. And Yusuke at his strongest and best is maybe star level. That's if you really give him a high ball. So I am rooting for Yusuke, but I too must place my bets for Ichigo. I did the best I could to give Yusuke a fighting chance, and I can at least take that with me. But yeah, this is basically going to be the Bleach win that Sean and all of the Bleach fans have been waiting for. So sorry, Yusuke. It's Ichigo. I'm going with.
Hey, Richard, you did put up a good fight. So
yeah,
at least.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Thank you.
Obviously, we're tired as hell, but you know,
if we weren't tired, the time would be better. That's the consensus.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
You did your best. That's all we can really ask.
It's true. Yeah.
I guess there's something I kind of want to try, just like a super speed run, real fast.
Sure.
Since these are both returning franchises, I'm kind of riding a high on a blog post I made not too long ago. So I kind of want to experiment just a smidge. I kind of want to like briefly go back to both of these franchises' previous episodes, and I want you guys to see if they hold up result wise or not. So I guess, Sean, we'll start with you. Going back to the 2 Bleach episodes, Naruto versus Ichigo, Madara versus Aizen. How do you think? Do you think those still stand up, or do you think Ichigo and Aizen might actually fare a bit better now?
Madara versus Aizen, I still think the result does hold up. Aizen just can't get past the Genjutsus. That's his biggest problem. Naruto versus Ichigo. No, I don't agree with it. I think Ichigo should have won.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess I would ask you to explain why, but meh.
You're tired.
Yeah, true. All right. Hey, Richard. I guess since we can't escape Naruto right now. How does Sasuke versus Hiei hold up in your mind? Does Hiei still win? Does he not anymore? Did he ever win in the first place?
I would say that no, he didn't win. No, the result does not hold up. No, he never should have won in the first place because there was a lot of downscaling they did for Sasuke at the time. Um, it's it do but I do think that of the things that I agree I think are right with that episode, I only think that maybe you can make the argument that um at the bare minimum, I think that skill wise, I think Hiei definitely has it, but in terms of overall speed and power output, especially thanks to Boruto, I think Sasuke definitely would win now. Because yeah, Naruto characters are solar system now, and
Yeah.
way faster than light speed. So, yeah.
Oh,
All right.
Hmm.
Sean, I won't lie. It's kind of interesting to me that you think Ichigo beats Naruto, but Aizen still loses to Madara.
Yeah, yeah, I
That's
agree.
interesting. I usually hear the other way around.
Yeah, I've that my hardcore diehard Bleach friend has told me that no, Madara should have lost. Um, so
Okay.
Also, like, another thing with that one is truth-seeking orbs. No counter to that. Aizen's dead.
fair enough.
Well, Naruto
Yeah,
has it too. Remember?
it's true. Yeah, so what stops Naruto? What stops Ichigo from just
I
not
think
going out?
Ichigo is much faster than Naruto, going by what we just talked about today.
Okay, you know what? Fair enough.
I guess that's fair. It's just I usually hear, and maybe that's just because I'm basing it off of the Organization Royale, but they had a segment going into some like bonus matchups for the Shonen Trinity, the big three. Um, like keeping it contained, like matchups that are like Naruto versus Bleach, Bleach versus One Piece, and One Piece versus Naruto. Not like branching out to like I don't know Obito versus Vader or something.
Yeah.
But uh, but um but what they had for the two previous Ichigo Bleach fights, God. So for okay, basically you could make the argument that uh Bleach's worlds, like the different realms, are universe size. Um, from what I've heard, it's a bit vague, but the argument there does exist. If you buy it in the first place, just at all, then Aizen is mopping the floor with Madara. Just on a just he's just way too powerful. Um, if you buy it, if you I've heard you can make similar arguments for Naruto. It wouldn't affect Madara. Madara would still get shit stomped, but um because Madara doesn't scale as high as Naruto does. But um, in Naruto's case, basically Ichigo needs to like be way stronger than Naruto in order to win. Um, and it seems to me, just going off the Organization Royale, is that the only way you can argue that is if you argue universe-sized realms for Bleach, and then don't do the same for Naruto. Um, um, which, from what I've heard, Bleach's arguments for that are stronger, so you can do that. But if they're equal at all, like if you buy it for both or you don't buy it for both, then Naruto's probably winning with a wider array of abilities. Um,
Okay.
um, that's just what I've heard. Obviously, it's Sean's call. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Um,
It's just a personal opinion. Everyone has one.
yeah, I'm just
Hmm.
going off of what I've heard. I just thought it was interesting that you went Ichigo wins, but Aizen loses, because I typically hear the other way around.
Yeah, me too.
I typically hear Naruto beats Ichigo, but Aizen beats Madara. So I just thought it was interesting. Um, okay. Um, we had a third thing, but do we want to do it or nah?
being frank,
Or are we
not
are
really.
we
You
or are
guys
we
should
are
go
we wiped
sleep.
out?
Not today.
Not today.
Honestly.
Okay. I guess
Tell you what, we'll do it on episode 102 or 103, one of
You
them.
know what?
I don't know.
I'm just gonna say this real quick. We probably just won't do it in general. We'll wait till the actual episode comes out. We were going to do a dedicated segment to So we have the Champions Island winner. It's Kamen Rider Geats versus Nero Claudius, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, Saber Nero from Fate, whatever Fate series it is. Honestly,
I'm happy for Kamen Rider fans. They're one of the best fan bases you can interact with.
It's true. They really
my,
are.
my TLDR is I'm happy to the people who are chill about it, and
yeah,
uh,
I'm happy for fans of both. I'm not into it.
I'm very happy. I'm actually getting into Kamen Rider. I need to start on that. But I love Geats as a character, and my hope is to get my two co-hosts to at least watch a couple episodes of the show. And obviously not the whole show, but just a couple of episodes to get an idea of Geats as a character.
I really want to watch Geeks before the episode comes out. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So yeah, I'm very excited for this matchup, and I'm so happy that Geats won. And if it comes out in a year, in 27, fine. Just make it the best episode it possibly can be, because god dang it, we voted for this. I voted for this. I was sold. No, we as in the people who represent the Geats community who participated.
I was going to say the champions.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. The champions that were split up into the Geats group. So yeah, I can't wait for this episode. This is if this episode is done the way I want it to be, this is probably going to be my favorite episode of 27, and it's probably going to be a contender in my top 10 favorite episodes of all time.
Well, I'm glad one of us is excited for it. I don't mean to sound mean about it. Again, if you're excited, then great.
Just don't be a dick.
Yeah, just don't be a dick. At the same time, just don't obviously, it's a very niche matchup. So don't blame people for not being super into it.
All I gotta say is
me, I'm people.
Just show up and watch it. Like, the people who voted for this, please watch it, because if this episode bombs and doesn't crack 1 million views like in the first couple of days, like, unfortunately, another niche episode that we had last year, I won't even say what it is, please just watch it, because then it's probably going to make them realize that, okay, I guess they don't want more Kamen Riders, and in that case, we're not going to get Captain America versus Ichigo.
Yeah, it's funny how everybody's talking about how every single character ever has a Kamen Rider matchup.
Yeah, come on, because god dang it, justice for Cap, please.
So it's like,
and I want more Kamen Rider.
So it's like, yeah, damn, if this episode bombs, then I guess we're not getting any of them. Smile. That's probably not true, but
my goal is to, if I can convince these guys as a request, maybe 2027 BrobusCast will let me let me convince him to do this episode in a special cam footage style, where I can do the whole debate for Geats wearing a Geats helmet that I'm actually going to buy. I'm dead serious.
Somehow I believe you, and that's terrifying.
I guess, since this is technically our whole thing, I want to say I want to be sold on the matchup, because I'll be honest, the initial push for it did leave somewhat of a sour taste in my mouth, but I really, really want to be proven wrong by the episode, and because I do think it could do good, and I want to be shown that. Yes, and again, to the people who have been chill about the matchup, I want them to enjoy it.
Yeah, agreed.
At the,
Official
sa-
since
at,
that.
the,
I
at the same time, god damn it, this was the shittiest way to end Champions Island, and that event was...
Yeah, it was. Oh god, I hope that. Look, I'm saying this as an investor of Death Battle, as a fan of Death Battle. Please don't ever do this again.
Yeah.
Look, me and BrobusCast were on the front lines for Champions Island. We can speak from experience how terrible
No,
it was.
Yeah,
no,
it
so was
was
I. No,
it was
so
bad.
was I. I was on the front lines as well. I was on. I really hate to say it like this, but I was on Team Wiz. And if you know, you know.
Oh, I do know. I do know.
Oh, trust me, it wasn't any better on the other side.
No, but okay, look, this is how bad it was. This is how bad it was. Their acts of stupidity were so bad, and they were such sore ass losers wanting to win that I actually defected and went over to Team Boomstick.
I feel like both teams are bad, but that's
you
a topic
dodged-
for another day.
Well, you dodged one bullet and jumped into the path of another, so I don't think that's not a flex.
No, but look, what I went to the side that gave me Geats. Geats, in my opinion,
guess, yeah, there you go.
The Geats is literally my saving grace for being a part and participating on both teams for this shitty experience. So that's why I need this episode to be good. All of the hell that.
I'm sure it'll be good. I'm sure it'll be a good episode, and again, like I said, I'm happy for fans of both. But
yes. Please God have.
But after all of the craziness that Champions Island was, I'm a little this is a 100% a me thing. I'm not trying to pin anything on anybody. But I'm a little miffed that we're ending it with a matchup that I really couldn't care about.
That's fair.
It's like, okay, cool. It's like, okay, I mean, it's cool, I guess, and it's cool that we're getting both franchises on after they've been requested for God knows how long. But yeah. I don't care. I'm sorry.
That's fair.
Franchises is a win overall, though.
Yeah, no, we're getting 2 new franchises that have been long overdue. God dang it, and I understand that, but I tell you this right now, I want both ZDogg and BrobusCast to have some enjoyment out of it. So at least for Geats, I can't promise anything for Nero because Nero is a PSP exclusive character that is getting a remake of her game this year, so that actually makes it better because her game will be on modern consoles. Thank God.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. And look,
hey,
Geats is one of
some publicity to help with view count.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and also and also to look, if you love Fortnite and if you love the Battle Royale system, and if you love Power Rangers, you cannot possibly look at me and not say that you wouldn't enjoy Kamen Rider Gates, especially because he's literally the cheekiest one of them all. Dude is fucking hilarious. Dude's fucking awesome, and I want the banter between these two to be awesome because they're both cheeky characters who, and I kid you not, Geats would definitely flirt and hit on Nero. Because,
well, yeah,
not in a Quagmire type of way or Johnny Bravo type of way, but more of a more like a cocky, cool kind of guy way.
So the Scout.
Yes.
Okay.
He is essentially the Scout if he was a Kamen Rider.
Cool.
Nice.
All right.
Well,
hey, there was our dedicated segment. We said we weren't gonna do it, and then we did it.
There you
love
go.
how that works out. All right, cool. All right. Yep, I need to perk back up for this one. I'm not actually like sleepy tired. I'm just like I'm
tired.
I'm peopled out, basically.
That's fair. Yeah, me too.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. This is 100 million% going to be in 2 parts. So, hope you enjoyed both of them. If you binged both of them together, what the hell are you doing?
You got a problem.
Yeah, you definitely got a problem. Watch them separately. God damn it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope you enjoyed Ash versus Yugi. If you didn't, how? Like,
And if you're like Billy and thought the track was mid, get out of my face.
I was hoping we didn't have to make a comment on that.
God damn
Well,
it,
I'm not
bros.
letting him forget. I'm not letting him I'm not letting him live it down. So I will make a comment about that. It's
Leave
Jason
him
Page,
be. Come
and
on.
it's Jason Page. God dang it!
all right, that's enough.
And
That's enough. I was
Well, thank you guys for inviting me again. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
No,
thanks
thank
for
you
com-
for coming on.
yeah, thanks for coming on. If you ever want to come back, all you got to do is ask.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
No, you, Billy, and your only mate are always welcome here with us. We do love having you guys on.
yeah.
Yeah, that's never gonna change.
And then of course everybody watching, I hope you're excited for Ichigo versus Yusuke. We've got previews out, so go watch them.
Yes.
I hope I really do hope you're excited for Geats versus Nero.
I can't.
I know some of us aren't, but don't let that stop you. Opinions be opinions and all that jargon. I guess for a quick shameless plug, for one, I alluded to it earlier, but I have a blog out. I will probably put it in the description. I basically went through. I basically went through all the franchises that I've repped on this podcast and went back to their previous episodes to see if I think the results of them still hold up or not. They are very impromptu. They are not definitive in any way. I just thought it would be fun, just based on the knowledge that I have currently. Will I do it again next year? I don't know, maybe. And then I guess to plug something we announced on the last episode, we do have a new versus project in the works. Our I'm not gonna play it again. It's called the Bros Brutal Beatdown, or BBB as we've been calling it. Our animator has been coming in with some shots of the work in progress for our pilot, and oh my god, y'all,
So beautiful.
it's beautiful. You guys are in for a treat, and this is the animatic we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. And we will announce what it is very soon when we get the finished animatic.
Yeah.
Right now, we just have previews of it. And from the previews, yeah, it's like Bro said, they are gorgeous. And our animator is going to work to the bone to make sure that this is the best thing possible. So please look forward to that.
Mm-hmm. All right. With that being said, we hope you enjoyed. So that's all for us. So thanks for watching, and we will talk to you all in the next episode. Bye, everybody.
Bye. We're gonna pass out now.